Welcome to watch TWC's Psychology TV show. I'm your reporter, Kevin Mock. Recently, many people asked about Polygraph. What is Polygraph? Let's check it out.
These screens are captured in students' experiment. It is about a psychological topic, electrodermal activity and polygraph. This experiment aims to let students be familiar about recording electrodermal activity and getting mere analysis to polygraph under various experimental conditions. Students are hoped to gain a better understanding of polygraph and its proper usage. After a quick skim of the experiment, let's hand back to our reporter, Kelvin. He is going to talk about the laboratory process.
According to the Module 9 introduction, somatic sensory stimuli such as pain, pressure, touch elicit the change in peripheral autonomic tone, and hence the electrodermal activity (EDA). So, in this experiment, we are using the biopack as a polygraph by measuring EDA, respiration, and heart rate, and find out what would have changed when the subject is lying. To achieve this goal, we need to set up the experimental methods and place them to the subject. After a fast track calibration, we start the experiment and recording the data. The whole experiment divided in 3 parts, which are counting and touch, colored squares, and yes-no questions. Count and touch. Director asks subject his full name, counting backward from 10, counting from 30, and lastly, the director touch the subject on his side of face. Colored square. Director arrange color paper in specific sequence. Director holds color paper in front of the subject and instructs subject to concentrate on each colored square for around 10 seconds and lower the paper for 5 seconds before showing the next color. Yes-no question. Director will ask subject 10 prepared questions and those subjects answer. Subject can choose to answer truly or dishonestly.
Thanks, Kelvin, for comprehensively saying about the laboratory process. So now I, Jason, would like to talk about what I have found in the experiment. After the test, I believe that few informations could be mentioned. Through using the EDA information obtained from the color experiment, practical values are used as a baseline for comparing subjects' response when lying and saying truth. A phenomenon is that activation of sweat gland activity will raise when subject is under emotional response. This will be mentioned again by other groupmates. While there are factors affecting experiment results, there are the existence of emotional response and external environment. For example, subject has no emotional response about lying or get nervous when saying truth. Results in experiment are no longer conclusive. Moreover, changing temperature and humidity could result differently from the truth. Now, our groupmates Avi and Joe are going to talk about what they have learned and how it related to psychology.
In this experiment, we have learned more about polygraph. Polygraph is a lie detector which based on the graphic skin response. The graphic skin response is change in spreading of finger or palm that accompany emotional experience and are independent of perspiration under normal temperatures. The polygraph monitored the heart rate, respiratory rates, blood pressure and flows and sweating. Those are controlled by autonomic nervous system, so it cannot be changed consciously. Also, the other principle is that change in emotion associated with intentional falsification of answer to carefully selected, and where question involuntarily and subconsciously alters autonomic outputs. This way causes recognizable change in record physiological variables.
How is it related to psychology in general? A polygraph is based on the theory that if a person tells a lie, he or she will feel some emotion, such as guilty or fear. Feeling guilty will be accompanied by involuntary fear physiological response, which are difficult to suppress or control and can be measured with a machine called a polygraph. A polygraph is about the size of a laptop computer and measures chest and abdominal muscle movement during respiration, heart disease, blood pressure, and skin conductance or galvanic skin response.
That's all for our wordings of electrodynamic activity and polygraph. Thanks for hearing. Goodbye.